Need a white balance? We probably don't, but that's kind of a professional. You've been on TV before, right?
Yeah.
You've had to do that. You had to sit there looking at the camera, they white balance it so your face looks right. Unfortunately, not much we can do with this one. Not going to do me any good.
Bob and Groz, one more thing. Take 7.
That's, you had one of those too. Chonk need one of those also.
We don't have any of those ka-chunks.
It is one more thing, and dumb jock, is that where we're going? Is that what
A jock who can't get out of his own way.
Yeah, and you know what? A guy who was perceived as a good guy, and
He is
then
a good guy when you talk to
then
him.
people cut him some slack for kind of a messy breakup, but now it's getting really hard now.
Tiki Barber, boys and girls, is in news again for all the wrong reasons. Apparently, the former New York Giants running back has been criticized in local media for making the analogy during an interview in this week's Sports Illustrated. At one point in the article, Barber describes going into hiding with his girlfriend after his well-publicized breakup with his then pregnant wife. He took an absolute beating over that.
Yes, he did.
Barber and his girlfriend ended up in the attic, of the home of his agent,
Right.
Mark Lepselter.
To try and dodge the press, is that what he's saying?
Yeah, Mark Lepselter. He said, and here's the quote: "Lep's Jewish," Barber said, and it was like the reverse Anne Frank thing. That it has not gone over well at all. And by the way,
Well,
his agent obviously defended him. His agent,
well, of course, it was his house too, right?
yeah, it was his house. And he
What
said,
you say? It's blown up
he's-
out of nothing.
Here's the quote from Lepselter. In a world where nothing surprises me, where things get completely blown out of proportion, this only adds to the list. All Tiki was saying to John, the writer there, was he was shedding light on going back to that time when he was literally trapped, so to speak, in my attic for a week. Nothing more, nothing less.
All right, I expect the agent to say that. He's clearly a total, utter slimeball. Utterly.
For what he did to his wife.
I'm not talking about his agent for saying something like that.
His agent.
To compare that, what were there, Nazis pounding on the door ready to kill Tiki Barber too? Was he hiding from the press?
I don't
Because
think
if they
they
had
were
found
Nazis.
him, they would have sent him to a concentration camp and killed him?
I'm not sure what their intentions
Starved him
were.
to death?
I don't know what their intentions were.
I don't think those were them.
Somebody's not happy, though. That would be Abraham Foxman, who is the national director of the Anti-Defamation League. Described Barber's comments as outrageous and perverse. He says Holocaust trivialization
Tough words sometimes, buddy.
continues to spread and finds new ways and expressions that shock the conscience. Tiki Barber's personal behavior is his business, but our history and experiences are ours and deserve greater respect than being abused or perverted by Tiki Barber.
As a Jew, you got to understand, we're pretty serious about this Holocaust thing.
You don't find any
It was.
way in this.
You know what? It's when a guy tries to take out 6 million of your fellow tribesmen, you tend to think badly, think poorly of them. You tend not to have a sense of humor about it.
Stupid comment without
Utterly. Look, any
But
comment
do you
going
take
that
him
direction
ser-
is
Do you
dumb.
think he's anti-Semitic on any level? I think he was just a dopey guy who tried to make a point by being.
You know, I don't.
No.
I mean, I don't see him as saying, you know what, I'm going to take a shot at all those Jews who are after me. I don't think that's that's the only way you can think it's anti-Semitic, right? And I don't know. I don't think I take it that way. I
Not
think it's
anti-Semitic, just ignorant.
an incredibly stupid thing to say. Look, everyone can understand the analogy about hiding in the attic. So
Yeah.
he was thinking it's a harmless analogy when it wasn't. Brain fart. Stupid.
And he's had a few of
Dumbass.
those before. He's had a few before.
Well, he really, I mean, look, great smiling guy, seemed terrific. And then remember the end of his career, all of a sudden is criticizing Coughlin, all of a sudden is criticizing the Giants. It was really odd. He left the team, did the same thing. His wife, who was pregnant, you're right, he went off he was cheating on her with a gal, I think an intern where he was working. And
his wife was pregnant.
Tried to justify it. I mean, you know, he's low rent, so he doesn't get it. So maybe this gets blown up a little bit more.
Plus,
But,
he's making a comeback, so he was in the news anyway, or trying
kinda.
to make a comeback. This doesn't help, though. This is not going to.
Well, I tell you what, he's not playing for the Giants or the Jets. That ain't going to happen.
Probably the Buccaneers, though. They'll
Yeah,
still pick him.
they would.